Hey over there, Joe Lunchbox.
And Joy Nightingale.
And today we have landed in our own personal auditorium.
AKA our home.
Alright, now, we already showed you stuff in Show and Tell episode 1, where we went over our favorite things in our own personal auditorium.
Yep.
Well, we figured episode 2 should be the weirdest things in our own auditorium. I hope you like these show and tell things. We enjoy doing them. If you do, you should like this video, comment, subscribe, all those jazz and stuff that people tell you to do. It helps. Good. Yeah. Alright, but I know you're just curious. What weird stuff do you have to show us? What fun stories do you have to tell us? We have 10 of them, because we're going to do our top 10 weirdest things in our personal auditorium.
Ooh.
I know I do think backwards. I beat to my own drum, however the saying goes. Most people go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and 1 be the biggest. 10's a bigger number. I always make 10 the best thing. So we're going to start from 1 to 10. And don't think 1 isn't good. I love everything. I wouldn't collect it if I didn't.
True.
It's just, there always has to be the least of the list. So if you're ready for that, step right up. Let's go for this ride. And taking that least on the list spot, at number 10 spot, we have our own cute, two-headed little duckling. Well, I figured every auditorium needed a two-headed animal. On my budget of hardly any money, I couldn't find a real two-headed animal. So, in the sideshow, circus sideshow world, there's stuff called a gaff, also known as a fake. Well, there are two-headed animals out there. Trust me, you go to Ripley's, you see real two-headed cows and stuff. Mm-hmm. This two-headed duckling, sadly, isn't one of those things. He just is adorable.
So cute.
I'm like, how do you take a baby duckling, make him even cuter? You give him another head.
They're two cute heads.
He's really cute. I wanted something with two heads in our auditorium. He's it. He's one of our children. I love him. Moving right along, coming in our number 2 spot, we have this beautiful jar of mint julep jelly. 10 years ago, me and Joy were in Louisville, Kentucky, and we went to Churchill Downs, so where they run the Kentucky Derby, and we got a bottle of mint julep jelly, because that's
the thing to do.
the thing to do. But that's not what's weird about this. You see, what is weird about this is inside this mint julep jelly bottle isn't mint julep jelly. It's actually a little cobra. There's a story behind why I have a mint julep jelly bottle with a cobra in it. You see, years ago, my aunt went to Vietnam, and she brought me home one of those souvenir cobra whiskey bottles. It was very cool, but there was a hairline crack going around. And every year I had it, the stuff would start diminishing, and I was pouring in overproof rum to keep it so from drying out. And eventually that crack went fully around, and it thing was half gone every day. And I'm like, I think this bottle, even though I thought it was cool to keep it in the bottle, came over from Vietnam, I needed to find somewhere else to put it. And I'm like, what would be a funny jar to put it in? And I'm like, mint julep jelly. In this mint julep jar, we have a cobra, half liquid, of cobra whiskey from Vietnam, the other half overproof from Jamaica, just to keep him preserved.
Don't worry, it's Kentucky proud made.
Yeah, having the cobra wine from Vietnam was already weird as it was, but now that it's in a mint julep jar, I think takes it to the next level.
It does.
So you're asking, what's in the 3 spot?
What is in the 3 spot?
Years ago, we went to a spot called White Raven Trading Post. This was an Oddities shop/museum in Tombstone, Arizona. Sadly, it is not there anymore. We did get to go there. We did get a video. We'll put the link down to that below. But there, I fell in love with their museum, that they had the world's largest band of taxidermied frogs. Now, these frogs, they didn't taxiderm themselves and make a band. They actually they're old school souvenirs from Mexico. And I thought this was the coolest thing, and I wanted my own collection one day to be bigger than their collection, but I can't afford that. So we have 5 frogs, 3 displays.
Stands.
We got the little whole band. This guy, he drank some Coronas and is a little drunk. Actually used them as a pen holder. And this guy playing his saxophone. But I saw them and I'm like, that is such a cute, weird souvenir. I don't know how many people still have these sitting around from their grandparents went to Mexico on vacations many years ago. But now I'm trying to find as many as I can because it's a collection I really enjoy. Number 4. Now, every good auditorium needs its jars of wet specimens. Yeah, technically the culprit could count because it's in liquid, but it's more from whiskey. I do have lots of things in jars, which sometimes even disturb me. I hide them behind and stuff in displays.
But they're not like the weirdest. Like the things you see.
They're not the weirdest. So I was like,
can, see them at other spots.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, what is weirder? Now, I did talk about that 2-headed duckling, the first thing we showed you. And I said that was fake. And I was like, but does Joe have anything conjoined in his collection? And the answer is, yes, I do. In this wet specimen, if you look closely, those right there are conjoined mushrooms. I am the fool. When we were barbecuing 3 years ago and we were making steaks and we got the pack of mushrooms, I opened them up and I found one that had one body with 2 bases that went into the ground. And I went, that's awesome. My mom's like, that's dinner. I'm like, no, that's becoming a wet specimen. So, sitting here, jarred with all my wet specimens, my favorite one of all of them is my conjoined twinned fungi.
Because it's a fungi!
It's actually 2 fungi in one.
Ooh, party.
Alright. Number 5. We're halfway there. I talked White Raven Trading Post, awesome spot. Half museum that inspired me to get the frogs. The other half was a shop. Me and Joy spent a lot of money there. The best thing I bought there, actually, my favorite thing I bought there, the weirdest that I never thought I'd find. You see, in sideshows or museums, like oddity museums, they would have the devilfish. And it's a fish that looks evil looking at you. Now, they were also known as Jenny Hanovers. These were actually another gaff. They were a skate that would be cut up to look like this. Well, in White Raven Trading Post, they had one of these hanging on the wall, and I went, I don't have a Jenny Hanover in my collection.
I need one.
And there's one here. I have money. And
now they have money.
And at first I was like, man, that's going to break in my luggage. And they heard me say that and they went, we can ship it all to you. And I went, even better. And the Jenny Hanover, as you see, is hanging on our wall now. Good friend of mine. I used to talk to her every day. Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, it's a monkey Kapala skull. Ho. That's right. From going to Ripley since I've been a kid, I always loved the Tibetan Kapala skulls. I always wanted one, Tibetan monk, head looking just like this. Well, I don't have any human skulls in my collection. One day I hope to have a real Tibetan skull, but for now, the only Kapala skull I have is this monkey one. So when we saw him, I was like, Joy, Christmas is almost here. All the boys want little fun toys for kids, but I want a monkey Kapala skull.
It was actually almost seriously just like that.
Yeah, I'm not lying. So we found one. The store that we got it from is called Mountain Oddities Museum and Shop. It's actually in Knoxville, Tennessee. Sadly, we ordered this. This is big on my bucket list to get here because shop and museum, stuff like this. I can't wait till we finally get there and able to make a video show you, and I could go exploring and get some more stuff for our collection. But he was a good find for that collection. Very happy to say that we have a monkey Kapala skull. Got some big item coming in next. Well, in our last video of our favorite things in our oddities collection, If you haven't seen it, I'll put a link to that down below. But I talked about our friend Chris that made all the stuff at Coney Island for us, named Huxton Fabrication. He had our bed of nails, which is in our last video. But that's in a lot of sideshows. He made me a prop that's so different, so weird, it made this list. Now, a lot of people lay on beds of nails, but I lay on a bed of barbed wire. I'll be honest. When I told Chris I wanted a bed of barbed wire, I didn't know what he was going to do. And I don't want to say, I definitely was not the first person to ever think of this idea. Other people have performed with beds of barbed wire. The only difference is mine one is actually in the shape of a bed. We have our headboard, our springs, our bed legs. I couldn't be happier when he gave me this thing. I also never laid on barbed wire up till I had it. Beds and nails, it's a good thing about weight distribution. You feel all the nails. Don't get me, you're aware that you're laying on nails. But it's, I want to say, more intense discomfort.
Well, yeah, because it's not as...
This one isn't intense discomfort. This is pain. Can I do it? Yes.
Well, what I'm saying is because, like, the bed of nails, like, they're set. Like,
yeah, they're close. So you're laying on something, even though they're all sharp. These are spread apart.
Here, down here.
And they're not all straight lined up. Like, somewhere like this, somewhere like that. And you feel them. And the other thing is, I tore so many pairs of show pants on this. This act I do bleed with. Don't try not to bleed as much on stage, but that is one of the ones that does it for me. We get into the end. Up to number 8. Like I was saying. I don't have human remains, or in any form, no skulls, no nothing, in my personal oddities collection. I am fascinated with shrunken heads. So since I don't have real human shrunken heads, I figured I should start obtaining the best collection of fake shrunken heads. Could be simple, could be complex, but we got 3 to show you right now. We went simple to start, just a little cute rubber, shrunken head, got a cute septum piercing, sits on her table. Now obviously you see that one right off the bat and say, that one you could clearly see is fake. Mm-hmm. Next one we have, not so, first glance you might think it's a shrunken head. He also is fake, but you can see how nice this one was sculpted. The sutures in the mouth. I love that you actually have eyelashes. The hair, the feathers. You can see where the ears were once stretched like mine. But so we have fake heads that look fake heads that look real. We just need that one item to bring that collection together.
In the weirdest way.
Yeah. So of course, it is my Apple Sculpture Shrunken Head Kit with Vincent Price on the cover. I've searched for one of these for so long, and when I found one, it still says eBay on all the stuff. On eBay, you can see where I got it. All complete except missing one piece, but a lot of times I found people for the price I paid for this selling just a box. I was very happy. Mm-hmm. I saw it. I'm like, Joy, I'm buying something right now. She said no, and I went,
done.
Yeah. And we got our very own Shrunken Head Apple Sculpture, tying in our 3 Shrunken Head collection. See this guy's on a stick? I call him shish kebab. Coming in number 9. Almost at number 10. Going back to Sideshow. Sideshows obviously always have a a blow off at the end. The next thing, an extra dollar, you go behind the curtain and see something. Mm-hmm. They always have the eternal battle. Arch nemesis fighting, and it's a cobra versus a mongoose. Usually a piece of taxidermy. When I had a chance, find one of these, get it. Coming in at number 10. Ours might be a little aged. But cobra versus mongoose. The eternal battle. Yeah, that's right. 2 cobras made this list. They're totally different and totally awesome. And this one comes with a mongoose. You can see he's an old piece of taxidermy. You see some stuffing coming out there. His leg has a little tears. He was aged, but he needed a home, and we gave him to him. Alright, I know this isn't our favorite Oddities collection list, but if this is my favorite of the weird oddities, that's why it's our number 10 spot. Like I said, we do things reversed. I'm not counting down 10 to 1. 1 to 10, 10 is a bigger number, bigger importance. That's the way I look at it. I know I'm weird. Well, since I've been a kid, about 14 or 15, I've been going to New York State Ren Fair. Once I started dating Joy, I was probably about 19. I took her for the first time. And every time I've been going, there is an artist there by the name of Roger Sweezy. Mm-hmm. And he makes stuff out of seashells and black, like plumbing silicone and nuts and weird, like, found items. And I have a collection of these bats. In our computer room, I have a row of them hanging. You can see them all just dangling there. And from first glance, when people walk into that room, they don't realize that they're fake. And they think I have real taxidermy bats hanging. And I go, no, that would be weird as it is. Real taxidermy bats. What makes it even weirder is that these are bats actually created by an artist to look like bats hanging there. If you see this one, you see the outside's a big shell, almost like the shell's opening, and in the center, they use a nut to make the bat's head. I love this guy's art so much. We have vultures, we have mice. I don't always wear my performing hat, but when I do, there's a little cockroach on my hat. That's not a real cockroach. Mm-hmm. That's a mussel shell. Mm-hmm. People think it's a real cockroach. Nope, mussel shell. And I love them so much. The bat's always been my favorite. Whenever we go to the fair, we get a new one. I messed up the first time, though. He's a great guy, always talks to me whenever I buy a bat. His joke is, you get a bat and a belfry, and you get this little bell that puts on, I have on the bat. He throws it in the box. It's a fun little joke. Great. The problem I messed up was the second time I went, he went, and I have a little free gift for you. And I went, a bat and a belfry. And he went, no. Since I knew his joke, he took dried peas and threw dried peas in my box. Says, you win the Nobel Peas Prize. And I was sad because I wanted another bell. So if you see them all up there, they all have bells except one. So I learned, let him do his little joke so I get a free bell instead of a thing of dried peas. So I always act as if I never heard the joke. It makes me happy every time. I love these so much. They are weird, but they're normal. Like, some people might consider Wet Specimens not normal, having and so much taxidermy. These aren't that. It's just seashells. Mm-hmm. And it's a piece of, when I want to say American folk art, which is something that means I love folk art. We have tons of videos going to see folk artists, houses, weird stuff like that. So to have a collection of this, so awesome. Number 10 in our list. Mm-hmm. And that is our list. So I think we could call it.
I think so.
Top 10.
Weirdest.
Things in our oddities collection. Been there, done that. Remember, folks, safe travels.
Good eats.
And live life.